Hello everyone. Sorry I haven't been really posting much lately, but I've been busy, and you might not know, but I'm kind of into cell phones. I'm not one of those people that will always get the latest and greatest, but I will always try different either platforms or different kinds of hardware. Not necessarily when they come out, because they're usually more expensive, but I usually wait either like last generation, because that's when people start dumping those phones and they get the newer ones. So just a little backstory. I used to use an original iPhone, and it's a good phone, nothing wrong with it. The problem is that when they started releasing new versions of the iPhone, started adding more features, and then Apple decided to drop support for the original iPhone. So at that point, people can pretty much do whatever they want with the phone. Apple doesn't really support it, and people jailbreak it, do whatever they want with it. I was doing that for a while. Worked fine. Then I decided to... The thing is that I kind of got bored with the iPhone, the iOS platform. So I decided to try Android. So I got a MyTouch 3G. Used that for a while, several months. The platform itself I actually really like. I think it's a really nice OS to work on, and the phone itself was okay, kind of underpowered, but for basic everyday stuff it worked fine. I don't really play games on it. I don't really play games on cell phone, period. The most I do is Facebook, Twitter, email, making phone calls, and messaging. And that's really the most I do on cell phones. But I wanted to try a different phone. So I looked at the Windows phones. And I really wanted to get a Windows 7 phone to play with, because my brother has a Windows 7 phone. And Windows 7 phone, or Windows Phone 7, the platform itself, is actually a really good platform. It's really nice. If you ever played with a Zune HD particularly, essentially it's the same team that designed the OS for that and designed Windows Phone 7. So very smooth experience, very easy, understandable layouts, and overall it's a really nice platform. The problem is that people that tries to sell them is selling them a little bit overpriced, I think. Kind of expensive. And for me, I have a plan that is a no contract plan with T-Mobile. So the plans for monthly is cheaper, but I have to buy the phones at full price. And so that's where the second-hand market comes in. And someone was actually willing to trade me their HTC HD2 that runs Windows Mobile 6.5 for my MyTouch 3G that runs Android 2.2 Froyo. And that the MyTouch wasn't hacked at any way or anything like that. It was actually just the update itself came straight from Google. So yeah. So I got the phone, played it for a while, and Windows Mobile 6.5, it's okay, but it's kind of outdated now. HTC added the Sense software on top of it, and it kind of updates the look. Not really smoother. It just makes it a little bit more modern, but kind of been on the clunky side. Then I did a little research, and apparently this is a very hackable phone that people get. People buy these phones and hack them to either run Android or, in some cases, Windows Phone 7. So I flashed it. I flashed the phone and it runs Android. So now I have a really nice, powerful Android phone. And let me adjust the focus here. There it goes. So it's really smooth. I don't really have much yet. I just flashed this last night and I'm just now showing you. But what's nice about this is that the hardware inside of it is really, really powerful. It actually makes Android running on these HTC HD2s makes the hardware shine on this thing, because it's a very lightweight OS. And let's see, one of the most popular games that people play, Angry Birds. Now, of course, it's a little bright, so let me there it goes. This is Angry Birds Seasons. I have all 3 versions of Angry Birds, even the new one. Whoops. So yeah, there's Angry Birds Seasons. And look, I even have a flashlight app, because this has flash on it. This thing gets ridiculously bright, jeez. But yeah, this is the phone I got. It has GPS, gyro, and all that stuff that you find in other newer Android phones. And of course, you got the Android Marketplace. So there are several ways that people would stick Android on this phone. If they don't feel comfortable flashing the phone, you can actually run Android as a program inside Windows that runs off the SD card. It works for the most part. The problem is that it runs a little bit on the slow side. It runs a little sluggish. Not too bad, but not ideal. And honestly, it only took me like 15 minutes to flash it and stick Android on here. One thing to keep in mind is that if you do have a data service, I had to figure out this the hard way, because I thought, oh, something screwed up. Maybe I didn't do something correctly, and I reflashed it. Well, apparently I had to go in the settings and mess with the APN settings to get the 3G network to work on here. So 3G and everything works on here. And I'm kind of amazed that today's phones, you can pretty much do anything on here. Having one of these makes having either a portable GPS or a in-dash GPS system in the car obsolete, because you have it on your phone. You don't really need a dedicated MP3 player anymore because you got your phone. In some instances that you might not even need an actual computer anymore because you got your phone. Because, you know, this has a 5 megapixel camera with flash on it. I can record video on here and upload to YouTube directly on the phone. So expect more outdoor types of videos. So if I see something interesting, I'll make a video of it, post it on YouTube, and let you guys see. So you might notice I did some videos in the past while I was testing the video quality. That was with the MyTouch 3G. The quality wasn't really that great, so I kind of stopped doing that. But I'm going to test videos using this because this has a really nice camera on it. In fact, I'll show you real quick. Hello, hello. And maybe if I take a picture of here, has autofocus and all that good stuff there. And oh, that's a little bright. Let me turn down the brightness a little. So that gives you an idea of the quality. It's actually a really nice camera. And yeah, it kind of replaces pocket cameras now because of the cell phones. So yeah, while the only thing I don't like about today's cell phones still is playing games on it. Some games are fine on here. You know, if you're going to play like Angry Birds, Solitaire, you know, a lot of touch-based games, these cell phones are actually fine. But when you start getting to more in-depth types of games, I think these phones still doesn't cut it. One of the biggest reasons why is controls and the battery life. Battery life on these phones, the more powerful they make the phones, the more features they stick on these phones, the worse the battery life gets. And this would be the first day that I'm going to have a full charge. So I'm going to see how the battery life is on this on the full day, you know, just average use. But I'm not expecting great battery life out of this. So, and did I mention this is a freaking huge phone? I mean, you know, using one hand with this phone, I'm really stretching just to reach the other side. So it is a pretty large phone, but not in a bad way. I actually kind of like the size of the phone. Nice weight, not too thick. It's actually kind of thin and well built. So anyway, I'll end it here. Like always, have a good one.